This is about shutting down the MAGA movement, shutting down grassroots conservatives, shutting down President Trump. Not only are we winning, we are going to prevail, and every number and every poll shows that. There's nothing that can shut me up and nothing that will shut me up. There's not a prison built or a jail built that will ever shut me up.
Steve Bannon has had a no good, very bad day. And while he's acting as though he's very cocky there and everything's gonna be fine, he's gonna spend some time behind bars. And that's why he's all worked up. Now, go ahead, Cenk.
Sorry, I want to note an irony right here before we go any further. Nothing will shut me up. There isn't a single thing in the world. He was arrested for not testifying in front of Congress.
Yep.
So apparently the one thing that can shut him up is himself. That's ironically what he's arrested for.
So he's been found in contempt of Congress. He was convicted of that. He's been attempting to appeal the guilty conviction, but he has not really done well in persuading the courts to side with him. So the subpoena was issued by the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th Capitol riots. Bannon refused to show up. He also refused to turn over documents related to his involvement in those riots. The defense has said Bannon had been acting on the advice of his attorney at the time, who told him that the subpoena was invalid because the committee would not allow a Trump lawyer in the room, and that Bannon could not determine what documents or testimony he could provide because Trump has asserted executive privilege. One problem though, that defense was also utilized by Peter Navarro, and if you were following that case, you're fully aware that it did not work. Peter Navarro has been in prison since March, and he was another one of Trump's advisors who refused to comply with subpoenas. So Bannon was convicted of 2 counts of contempt of Congress in 2022 and sentenced to 4 months in prison. And so he is to report to prison on July 1st. He claims that he's appealing this and he's gonna fight this, and this isn't the last of Steve Bannon. I do believe that it's not the last of Steve Bannon, unfortunately, but I also believe that it's very likely he's gonna serve 4 months behind bars.
Pausing here to deliver some honest truth as we do in our news coverage as well. TYT is facing challenges, guys, as the entire industry is. You know who could make the difference? You. If you hit the join button below, it's gonna make all the difference and keep us in business. We appreciate you, thank you. Yeah, and he has absolutely no leg to stand on. So the problem with the so-called populists is that I don't think they understand what the word means. So they say, look, man, the establishment is terrible and it doesn't serve the people. I agree with that. Then they said, that's why I should be above the law. Wait, hold on. You just weirdly jumped from no one should be above the law to I should be above the law. Navarro says it, Trump says it, Bannon says it. And remember, Bannon's co-conspirators in a different case where they were ripping off their own viewers to build a wall, which they didn't build, are already convicted and in prison. And so the only reason Bannon's not already in prison for that crime is because Trump pardoned him right before he left office. He's like, oh, you're a criminal who rips people off for a living? Well, that's what I did with Trump University and Trump Charity. And besides which, you used to work for me and we're both goddamn liars and con men. So here, get out of jail free card. So the reason Bannon is like all worked up is because he's been trying to delay and delay and delay so that Trump can get back in office and pardon him a second time.
That's exactly right, but it appears that won't be the case this time around. And Trump is worked up about this. He posted about it on Truth Social saying that it is a total and complete American tragedy that the crooked Joe Biden Department of Justice is so desperate to jail Steve Bannon and every other Republican for that matter. Yes, that's what the Justice Department is doing right now. They're looking to arrest and imprison every single Republican in office, maybe even every Republican voter. So if you're a Republican voter watching the show, you better be careful. They're coming for you. I mean, come on. Look, it's very simple. In fact, this is a talking point that was very common among conservatives whenever you would cover a story involving an unarmed black person running away from the cop and getting shot and killed. The argument was, just follow the law, just don't run. So Steve, what happened, honey? Why did you run? Right? When are they gonna take personal responsibility for the criminality that they engage in? No one forced him to refuse to comply with subpoenas.
Yeah.
No one forced him to do that. He did that. That was based on his own free will.
And what I wanted to add to that, Anna, is what does MAGA want? Do they so Bannon clearly broke the law. He got a subpoena. You have to show up, no matter who you are, if you have a subpoena. He says oh, I had executive privilege. What are you talking about? You weren't in the White House for 3 years. That is a nonsensical point. It doesn't, some people could actually say, well, I was in the White House with Trump. We were making decisions together. And you have at least a plausible case for, executive privilege, et cetera. But Bannon has no case for it. So is MAGA's contention that Republican leaders should be able to break any laws?
Yes, I guess.
And never be prosecuted, that they should just be above the law. So if he can break this one and Trump can break all the ones that he has, because remember, they're not even, most of MAGA doesn't even bother saying he's innocent. On the falsifying business documents, I've now seen endless debates. Every Republican acknowledges he falsified the business documents. They'll say, oh, it should be a misdemeanor and not a felony, and the case shouldn't have been brought, and it's no big deal, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, of course he did it. Of course he took home the national secrets. Of course he had fake electors, et cetera. So I guess your argument is we don't care. Our elites should be above the law and should rule you guys and should be able to do anything they want and break any law they want. But not you guys. Your elites say we're gonna send them all to prison, whether they broke the law or didn't. We're just gonna get revenge. If Trump said, hey, you know what? I'm gonna bring real justice. Everyone who committed fraud, they try me with fraud. You committed fraud, you're on Wall Street, you're a politician, you did insider trading. I'm gonna come for you. I'd say, well, that doesn't sound too bad. That actually sounds populist, right? But he doesn't say that. What he says is, I'm gonna arrest Joe Biden. I'm gonna arrest all of these political opponents of mine and every MAGA guys out there. We're gonna arrest them all. For what? What did they do? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Let's just arrest them for no reason. Okay, then you don't give a goddamn about them. Why do you think people call you fascist? Because you say that your guys should be able to break the law whenever they want, and the other side should go to prison whether they broke the law or not. Okay, gee, I wonder why people call you fascist. You still can't figure it out?
There's nothing out there with our politicians. It's just bottom of the barrel, worst people on the planet. And by the way, there's nothing to root for. That's the hardest part about all of this, right? What are you rooting for, Cenk?
Yeah, I know. Let's see what happens.
Anyway.
So I don't know what's gonna happen on the Democratic side, and Joe Biden certainly has 100 problems. But I know, that the Democrats are filled to the rim with problems. But you can't vote for a Republican. I mean, you can't vote for guys who say, I should be able to break the law whenever the hell I want. And by the way, Bannon, I can't get past, he robbed his own voters and viewers. And Trump thought that was a great idea and gave him a pardon.
I have to make a point here because I totally hear what you're saying, but what you're saying kind of reminds me of the crime debate happening in the country, right? About how, no, crime is down, it's not a big deal. Okay, yes, but are people reporting the crimes, and more importantly, are the crimes being prosecuted and noted in the records? You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There are all sorts of crimes being committed by politicians on both sides of the political aisle that just go, without any challenge, without any investigation, without any, criminal case. I can't get past the fact that our own government is selling us out. They sell out we are a dying empire. You guys know that, right? This country is a dying, decaying empire because our politicians sold us out. Every politician, almost every politician in Congress right now, they all sold us out. They don't love this country. They don't care about this country. All they care about is their insider trading, which we would all go to prison for in a heartbeat. They won't even get prosecuted for that, okay? And of course, their precious campaign coffers and the political bribes that they can take in order to secure, another term in office so they can rob the American people more? So yeah, I hear you. Steve Bannon, without a doubt, is a criminal and should go to prison, and I'm glad he will. But it is interesting to see what kind of crimes get prosecuted while other crimes go untouched.
Yeah, but last thing I'll say on it is, look, yes, but, and I don't say that flippantly, Anna's 100% right. And if all you did was take the things that are currently legal, like being able to be bribed through campaign contributions and then do insider trading when you're in Congress, it's already the biggest outrage and it's just atrocious. But why, so then between Democrats and Republicans, well, the Democrats are the party that has the very, very few honest people in politics. So why did we not feel hopeless in 2016 and 2020? Because Bernie Sanders was running. And you could say, hey, if you're a conservative, I don't like Bernie Sanders, I think he's a socialist, I don't like his policies. But everybody knows Bernie Sanders is honest. And in American politics, an honest politician is like 1 in a billion. So our side had the one honest guy. And then now on the exact opposite end of the spectrum, the Republicans are saying, hey, we're not just happy with the normal corruption. We already do the normal corruption, and any foreign government can bribe us, any company can bribe us, and we'll do exactly as they order us to do. On top of that, we're gonna add in personal corruption, where Trump's son-in-law gets $2 billion from the Saudis after we let them chop somebody up, and Trump is now selling off the West Bank to the highest bidder, and he says all of him and his allies should be able to break any law and get away with it. Well, then it becomes a no-brainer. So our side has at least one good guy. Their side says we should be allowed to be fascists. So like Biden's policies on Gaza are disgusting. Corporate Democrats taking endless bribes through corporate cash and contributions is disgusting. But among the two horrible choices that we have, I know the one that is eliminated already, and that's Trump and the Republicans. I'm not I would do anything to make sure that Steve Bannon is not back in the White House.
Biden
and if Trump wins, Bannon's definitely back in the White House.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. I'm never gonna support Biden. I'm not. This is it. This was my red line. This is the election where I'm done with the same argument. How many election cycles are we gonna get fed that same line, that same argument? Oh, but Biden's not Trump, Biden's not Trump, Biden's not Trump. I mean, Biden is greenlighting the slaughter of countless children in Gaza, but he's the decent guy, he's the good guy. I mean, he's the guy who will make promises and then as soon as he's in office, he'll nickel and dime the hell out of the American people while circumventing Congress to get hundreds of millions of dollars of additional weaponry to Gaza without congressional approval. Okay, I'm supposed to be okay with that? I'm supposed to say that's the decent guy, that's the guy who's representing my best interests? No, they're both trash. They're both gonna rape and pillage the way that they have their entire careers. This is what they do. And I'm done with the same argument and I'm done with the judgment. I'm done with the judgment of, oh, Anna, both sidesing. I'm both sidesing? What has Biden done for you? Ask yourself, what has Biden done for you? And why are you okay with Biden taking your hard-earned money and funneling it to a country that had a budget surplus in 2022?
Yeah, but again, Biden is very standard normal, and that is both bad and a little bit better than Trump. So it's bad in that, yeah, every Democrat and Republican has funneled our money to Israel, and they've slaughtered the Palestinians endless times. They've occupied them for 57 years. We gave them $300 billion. Every Republican and every Democrat said, yes, sir, absolutely, sir. Can I give you more of American taxpayer money, sir? And they also do it for, as I've said 1 billion times, for all of the companies that give. The #1 donor is not AIPAC, it's pharmaceuticals companies. And they buy almost all of our politicians. That's why we can't even negotiate drug prices. What kind of free market system doesn't allow you to negotiate drug prices that says, you must pay whatever the company sets as a price? That's unheard of, unprecedented. So I already know that almost every American politician is 100% corrupt. So Trump is just adding a layer of corruption. That's why I'm saying I'm against him. That doesn't mean Biden's a good guy, doesn't mean the corporate Democrats are good guys. If you think they are, you're super naive. On the other hand, if you say, look, my heart is broken over all these terrible choices, but I gotta make a choice, that while I'm on your side. And so I know I'm not picking Trump. Let's see what happens with Biden. By the way, Biden could actually do, he won't.
Biden is trash. Biden will do nothing, Cenk, come on.
I know. I mean, right now, he can get a peace deal done today.
You treat your voters with disdain, there should be consequences. Time for consequences, revel in it.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.